Okay, well, I've opened both of those files in Affinity. There's the RAW file and there's the JPEG. Now then, at first sight, the RAW file looks the JPEG file looks much better, brighter, seems like a better image than the RAW file. But the reality is that's because the JPEG has been processed from the RAW in the camera, compression, so various exposure averages applied, contrast averages, white balance settings applied, and has been saved compressed. It's probably 3.5 to 4 times smaller than the RAW. Now we can edit both, but we can do much more with the JPEG, with the RAW than the JPEG. Just look at the histograms. There's the histograms on the RAW file. Can you see how it's all very flattened and all of the peaks are very compressed to the left hand side? If I look at the JPEG, what the camera has done quite cleverly really is actually improve the overall saturation of colours across the range from sort of shadows to highlights. So the Canon camera's done a really good job, and to be honest, that's not a bad attempt. But we're just going to see if we can do any better. The other thing I need to mention is, of course, because you're saving 2 files at once, the time the camera takes to save and process both of these files means that if you're shooting a lot of images, shall we say sports images, lots of numbers of frames per second, eventually your camera memory may just back up and fall over and not be able to save all of your images. So the only time I would suggest you don't do both RAW and JPEG images, have your camera set to record both, is if it's a situation where you're taking 4 or 5 frames a second or more over a decent period of time. Again, depends on your camera. The newer the camera, the less buffering you'll get with the image saving to your card, and the less buffering you'll take with the processing from in the camera from RAW to JPEG.